there are between 20 and 30,000 of these animals in New York State.
They're a mix of 3 different animals.
And they make 11 different vocalizations.
What are they? Find out next on Sarah's Wiki Corner podcast.
It is time for Sarah's Wiki Corner, brought to you by Nibble Like Foods, the Genesee Valley Regional Market. Sarah, what are we learning about today on your Wiki Corner?
Well, over this long Thanksgiving weekend,
Yes.
my neighborhood had a visitor.
Oh, Santa Claus?
Not Santa Claus. It was a coyote. We had a coyote.
Coyote?
Yeah. It was in my neighbor's front yard, and then we saw it just walking down the middle of our road. Like he owned the place.
Yeah.
He or she, I should say, just owned the place.
Please.
Yeah. And so, of course, when I saw it, the first thing I did was go to Wikipedia, of course, and look it up, because I was like, is it bad that we're seeing a coyote just during the day? Like, 'cause it was like mid-morning, I think, when we saw it. And I was like, that doesn't seem
normal. And you don't live like way out in the country.
Oh, no. I live in a suburb.
In a
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought that we would talk about coyotes.
Oh.
So in case you see one in your neighborhood, now you don't need to go to Wikipedia to look it up, because I'm going to tell you all about them now.
Yeah.
Right.
Not how to handle a coyote necessarily,
No.
just the history.
You shouldn't handle a coyote, first of all.
So you can tell your neighbors while it's strolling down the street,
Yeah.
let me tell you something about a coyote.
Yeah. So here in New York State, we have eastern coyotes,
Oh.
which have a mix of coyote, wolf, and dog ancestry. So it's a mix of the 3. And when I saw it, it looked like a dog. I thought it was a dog. I was like, oh no, someone's dog is out. And then I was like, oh no, that is not.
That's a coyote.
That's not it.
Turn around. Run away.
And they are larger in size, about 40 pounds on average, than coyotes west of the Mississippi. Coyotes are relative newcomers to the Northeast. The first ones were spotted in the mid to late 1940s, and it took until the 1970s for them to become widespread.
Oh.
Their numbers have been estimated at between 20,000 and 30,000 here in New York. Today, the eastern coyote inhabits the entire East Coast, stretching as far west as Ohio. Eastern coyotes look similar to German shepherds. And they really do, because that's what I thought. I almost thought that's what it was. Yet they're half the size, weighing an average of 45 to 55 pounds. Aside from size, both eastern and western coyotes are physically similar, with large pointed ears, a pointed snout, and a straight and bushy tail.
Jagged, sharp teeth dripping with blood.
No, not that.
No?
No Roadrunner close behind either. Or no.
Get
It
out
was
your
chasing the Roadrunner.
Get
right?
out your TNT.
Yeah.
That's how you stop it.
So eastern coyotes are opportunistic omnivores and will prey on whatever is available and easy to kill or scavenge. Though they're known to take anything from grasshoppers to moose.
Grasshoppers?
And moose.
The lamest coyote eats a grasshopper.
Coyote diets are diverse and vary throughout the year based on seasonal availability. Their diet usually includes white-tailed deer, rabbits, small mammals like mice and voles, raccoons, groundhogs, birds, insects, and plant materials.
Oh.
And deer killed by vehicles or other causes can be an important food source for coyotes.
Oh, maybe that's what's bringing it. Are there a lot of dead deer, like at the side of the road in your area?
Not that I've seen, but maybe.
Maybe that's what brings them into the burbs.
So coyotes are not strictly nocturnal. They may be observed moving about during the day, yet are more active after sunset and at night.
When did you spot yours? What time?
It was like in the middle. It was like in the morning, like late morning.
Oh, okay.
So seeing a coyote during the day does not necessarily mean it is sick or unhealthy, but caution should be exercised. Coyotes do not migrate. They're year-long residents and typically inhabit an area known as their home range. They're territorial and will firmly defend portions of their home range. Adult coyotes live in home ranges throughout the year in New York. However, they may shift their activity patterns during the 4 seasons. So this is the first time I've ever seen one in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's just here for the winter. I don't know.
He's just checking his visiting. Got family in the area.
Coyotes are monogamous and mate for life. In early spring, female coyotes use dens for raising pups and often stay close to these sites. Coyotes readily adapt to living close to people.
Oh.
They live throughout upstate New York and commonly inhabit suburban and urban areas.
Nothing to worry about.
Occasionally, they're sighted even in parts of New York City and Long Island, which that would be crazy to see one just in New York City.
Yeah. Coyote.
Human development makes surprisingly good coyote habitat. The abundant food supply for coyotes makes living close to people possible.
Sure.
Yeah. So the coyote has been described as the most vocal of all wild North American mammals. While their howl is definitely the most recognizable sound that they make, there are at least 11 different vocalizations in adult coyotes.
You're kidding me. Could you do some impressions?
These sounds are divided into 3 different categories: agnostic and alarm, greeting, and contact.
Oh.
So those are the 3 categories of the sounds that they make, I guess.
What kind of sound was the coyote making in your neighborhood when you
He
spotted
was very
him?
quiet. He wasn't making any kind of noise at all.
He was in
just kind of
stealth mode.
trotting along down the street.
Sightseeing mode.
Yeah. So coyotes feature prominently in many Native American folk tales. Tribes across the continent cast the coyote as a central character in their folklore and tell stories of their cunning and perseverance. Though they're often characterized as a trickster, coyotes aren't necessarily a villain. In some myths, coyotes' ability to make the most of their circumstances and do whatever it takes to succeed is seen as a reflection of humankind's own survival instincts.
So if somebody calls you a coyote, they're being...
Maybe not mean.
Not mean. They're being nice, complimentary.
So the most famous of all coyotes is, of course, Wiley. E. Coyote. Do you know what the E stands for, by the way?
I do not.
Ethelbert.
Ethelbert?
The Ethelbert is the E.
Okay. Wouldn't have got that.
Anyways, Wiley Coyote obviously is not the most accurate depiction of the species.
No, I would say not.
But the cartoon...
But neither is the Roadrunner, to be honest.
Right.
So.
But the cartoon does get one thing right. Coyotes do occasionally chase roadrunners in pursuit of a meal.
Do they really?
But while the Looney Tunes Roadrunner is the faster of the two, in real life, coyotes outpace the birds.
Do they?
They do. So roadrunners move at 15 to 20 miles per hour, while coyotes can run twice as fast, reaching speeds of up to 43 miles per hour.
The cartoons did me bad.
They lied.
That's terrible. Mm-hmm. Get the bad coyote, and the Roadrunner's always the smart one, dropping the rocks and the
anvils.
painting the tunnel on the side of the mountain.
Yeah. That's right.
Well,
right.
Geez Louise. You picked out a record to go along with the Coyotes, did you, Sarah?
Yeah, so we're going to play a song with part that is inspired by the howl of a coyote. I'm going to let you guess which part it is, but it's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh.
By Hugo Montenegro.
And we'll do it, Sarah. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Do. Is it the whistle?
Yeah.
Got it. I solved your puzzle. I solved your puzzle, Sarah.
It sure is.
I knew it. Well, that's so. There is nothing to be alarmed then if there's a coyote in your neighborhood.
Well, I guess not. But don't go up to it and watch your pets when they're out. Especially if you have a little dog or an outdoor cat. I would think. Just be careful of that.
Yeah, I'd be curious what the coyote would, because you have a big dog, 80, 90 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the coyote would do if he or she.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we don't know the gender.
Right.
Was to encounter a 90-pound dog.
Hopefully nothing. I don't know.
Yeah,
because he's bigger. Bigger than.
What's the average coyote size? You said eastern coyotes?
They 45 to 55 pounds.
Oh, yeah. So your dog would be bigger than
that.
So
maybe they would not try anything, hopefully.
Yeah. They don't attack people, right?
Not usually. And they have, but it's very rare.
Just the bad ones. Yeah.
Or if they're rabbit or something.
Yeah. Hey, Wiki Corner brought to you by Niblag Foods in the Genesee Valley Regional Market. Hey, if you have some coyote meat,
coyote meat.
There's no coyote seasoning at Niblag Foods. Although, probably
that's probably not the weirdest thing they've ever had someone ask about.
I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, it do happen.
You know what's real popular over there is Bob's Potato Magic.
I know. We were talking to Eric today, and he said that they had orders from all over the country lately, 6 different orders from around the country for the Bob's Potato Magic. And so that's, if you are watching this video and you are not here in New York and you can't get to Niblack Foods store, they are online. So you can order anything in the store online, really.
Yeah. They packed it up for you?
Yeah, niblackfoods.com.
Yeah, you definitely check that out. Real unique store in the Genesee Valley Regional Market if you are here in the greater Rochester area. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
There was a coyote somewhere in my parents', this was years ago. It was a fox. And the police ended up coming and shooting it because it was
rabid?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one didn't look rabid.
It's good.
And you want it to be afraid of you.
Yes,
they said.
I do.
You want it to. You don't want to.
Do you go like this, real big?
Well, it's said to if it's you want to make yourself appear big and make a lot of noise.
I got to jump on there. Here we go. Legends 102.7, the biggest hits in the history of the world. Hugo Montenegro, some of his best work. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Sarah, do you remind us, why did we just play that record?
Well, because parts of that song were inspired by the howl of a coyote. And we were talking about coyotes on the Wiki Corner today.
Was it that part?
That part, yes. Great.
I didn't really
replicate
it
that,
very
really
well.
Good, yeah.
Okay. Let's recap 3 things we must take away from today's Wiki Corner. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Okay, eastern coyotes have a mix of coyote, wolf, and dog.
Coyotes make at least 11 different vocalizations.
And in real life, a coyote can outrun a roadrunner.
Oh, my
So,
gosh.
sorry, Looney Tunes.
The Roadrunner, look at that. I mean, you've always thought for your whole life that Roadrunners were super fast.
Yeah.
They're the car back in the 60s and 70s named after the Roadrunner. Meanwhile, it just
And
goes
the
20 miles
internet
an hour.
At one time.
Oh, yeah, the internet. Well, that was actually more of a true representation of Spectrum and Time Warner's internet service.
Yes, indeed.
Slower than a coyote. Folks who want to learn more about coyotes, Sarah, where do they go? What do they do?
Well, you can go to my Wiki blog. If you go to legends1027.com, on the homepage, there's a link that takes you to my blog where I post everything I talk about every day.
It is all there. You should definitely check that out. Plus, we always stream this live on Facebook every day at 4:10. You can tune right in on our Facebook page, facebook.com/legends1027 at 4:10. And it gets archived up at YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Sarah's Wiki Corner, like and subscribe. You'll be notified when we post new videos. You can see the behind-the-scenes stuff, what happens when the record's playing, all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of fun. Brought to you by Niblack Foods.
It is kind of fun, isn't it?
It's kind of fun. All right, Sarah, you come back tomorrow, fresh episode at 4:10.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Appreciate it. Traffic and weather coming up next on Legends 1027.